All right. Hello and welcome to a very special edition of the Rooted in Reliability podcast down in Clearwater Beach, Florida. I'm with Chris Troutt here, who is one of the attendees of the conference, and we are at the Leading Reliability Conference. We're going to chat just a little bit about the event and some of the things that are going on, and hopefully kind of include you guys a little bit and let you hear a little bit about what you can expect from a conference like Leading Reliability. First, I'll let Chris introduce himself.
My name's Chris Troutt. I work with a company called Cogent out of Kansas City, Missouri. We're an industrial pump supplier, but we have a condition monitoring team based in all our branches across the U.S. We essentially represent Gould's Pumps and service from western Kentucky to Montana. So we cover a lot of ground.
Very cool, very cool. Well, tell me a little bit about how you guys are driving reliability within your organization.
So it's a big opportunity for us to create relationships with our customers. So, predominantly we're selling iron, we're selling pumps. But my team can come in, we'll run routes, or we can just support or do troubleshooting. So, our goal is to become really that trusted partner. So when there is a problem, we're that first call, be it a mechanical seal issue, pipe strain, alignment, or resonance on a paper machine.
Very cool, very cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the conference. So we're only in day 2 here, so it's pretty early, but tell us a little bit about why you decided to come down to Leading Reliability and maybe a few of the takeaways that you have so far.
So I've always had an incredible relationship with ACOM. Was a customer, worked for them for a brief period of time, continued to have a great relationship, and they invited me to come down and speak kind of on, it's just an updated version of a blog post we wrote some years ago called Why Your Maintenance and Reliability Group Needs a Hype Man.
Awesome. So that's a great title.
So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, but a shameless plug for you and your team. Incredible presentation yesterday, both of you guys. It was really great. That whole leadership perspective is, I don't think we think about it enough. When you kind of had our problem statements we talked about in the morning, that's something that we're taking a really big focus on, not just around reliability and the condition monitoring group, but even in our safety side of the business and stuff, and how we take that message and talk to some of the younger folks we're bringing up.
Yeah, I think that's an area that really has become, it's weighing kind of heavy on me, if you will, is that whole idea of leadership in manufacturing. We've seen a lot of turnover over the last few years. We've seen a lot of changes in the way we're doing things, and it's going to take a pretty heavy amount of leadership to lead through a lot of that. And I don't know that people are getting that introduction, whether it be somebody who's new to the industry, coming out of university or coming out of a trade school, or whether it's actually someone who just was promoted up through the ranks. They're just not getting that kind of training.
We see a marked improvement when we actually lead and mentor these younger guys and don't just go, hey, there it is. Good luck out there. I mean, I tell this story in class. My laser alignment training was in a job trailer in Illinois Cement, LaSalle, Illinois, and somebody said, hey, did you see Steve do alignments yesterday? And I shook my head at 18. I went, uh-huh. And they said, here's a laser. Good luck. And yeah. I thought alignments took 5 or 6 hours, and they should be these miserable death marches of work. We're now, we got some training. That's what kind of I started that relationship with ACOM or previously Viberline. Mm-hmm. It's like it made a huge difference, and I think that's when these guys leave the trades or leave our places of employment really early, it's because they didn't get supported, they didn't get mentored or trained. There was no leaders. That's
exactly right, and so you got it on the trade side, but you've also got it on the management and leadership side. In some ways, we're just kind of fumbling our way through some of these things in many of these facilities that we're running into.
Correct, and that's. Nobody wants to do this. These kids these days, and shake your, old man shakes fist at cloud. That's why, right? We're not doing our part. We're not giving them a fair shake.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think conferences like this, guys in trades like me don't come to a lot of them, but we're missing really great stuff down here. This is good.
It is. It's one of my favorite conferences for sure. The size makes it fun because you can sit around and chat with folks afterwards, talk about little details of what you're experiencing and the things that you're trying to do. And I've already had a couple of conversations after the class yesterday with folks who were like, okay, now I want to ask you some specific questions. Let's get into my situation. And I think that's a pretty awesome thing to be able to do. You just can't do it in some of the other places, I think.
I was up entirely too late last night because every time I would wrap up a conversation, somebody say, hey, this is the next guy. Meet this guy. He does the thing that you've done. And then the clock starts over again. So you're like, oh, it's 40 minutes. I've talked to half a dozen people. I got to kind of find something different, like go to bed maybe. But.
Yeah, absolutely, to be ready for these presentations today. All right. Well, I really appreciate you joining us on the podcast and spending a little time with us here. And I hope the rest of the conference goes really well.
Looks going to be incredible.
All right, man. Well, thanks again. And for our listeners out there, I hope you get a little bit of an idea, a little bit of a picture of what it's like down here at Leading Reliability in Florida. Have a great week.